The rain had been falling over downtown Philadelphia since early morning. Not the gentle kind, the heavy kind that soaked through coats and made the sidewalks shine like mirrors. James Walker tightened his grip around his daughter's small hand as they hurried past shuttered coffee shops and bus stops filled with tired faces. 8-year-old Ava skipped once, then again, splashing through a shallow puddle until her backpack bounced against her shoulders. "Daddy," she whispered suddenly. James bent down, ready to tell her they would be late for school. That was when he heard it too, a sound that didn't belong in the rhythm of rain and traffic. A woman crying, not softly, desperately. The sound came from a narrow alley beside a closed grocery store. James slowed. Ava tugged his sleeve and pointed. In the shadow between two brick buildings, a young woman was crouched against the wall, her arms wrapped around herself. 2 men stood over her. One blocked the alley entrance. The other leaned too close, his voice low and threatening. Ava's fingers tightened around James's hand. "Daddy, please help her." James felt fear rise in his chest. Every instinct screamed at him to walk away. He had learned that lesson years ago, the night his wife died in a car accident. Since then, his world had become small and careful. Protect Ava. Avoid danger. Survive. But he also remembered another voice. His wife's voice. The one that used to say, "Show her how a good man lives." James knelt in front of Ava. "Go stand by the bus stop," he whispered. "Don't move. Watch me." Ava nodded, eyes wide but brave. James stepped into the alley. He didn't shout. He didn't threaten. He simply said calmly, "That's enough." The men turned. One laughed. "Mind your business, old man." James felt his heart hammer, but his hand stayed steady. Years before, when he was younger and reckless, he had trained in boxing. He took one slow step forward and placed himself between the men and the woman. "Leave," he said quietly. The first man grabbed his jacket. The movement ended fast. James twisted the arm, shifted his weight, and slammed the man into the wall. The second man lunged. James ducked, drove an elbow back, and sent him stumbling into a pile of trash bags. Shock replaced their confidence. "Go," James said. They didn't argue. They ran. The alley fell silent except for rain and the woman's shaking breath. James turned slowly, keeping his hands open. "You're safe now," he said gently. "Can you stand?" She nodded, tears streaking her face. He helped her up and walked her toward the street. Ava appeared beside him, holding her breath. "Thank you," the woman whispered. James flagged down a passing taxi and watched as it drove away. Only then did his hands begin to shake. "Daddy," Ava said softly, "you were brave." James smiled, though his knees felt weak. "We were just lucky," he said. They hurried on to school. By afternoon, the rain stopped. By evening, the moment already felt like a dream. The next day passed quietly. Work at the auto repair shop. Dinner at home. Homework at the kitchen table. Then late in the evening, James's phone rang. "Mr. Walker?" a calm male voice asked. "My name is Daniel Brooks. I'd like to talk with you about something that happened yesterday morning." James's stomach dropped. They met the next afternoon in a modern cafe near the river. Glass walls, steel tables. A different world. Daniel stood to greet him. He was a tall black man in his 40s, wearing a clean gray suit and kind eyes. "My sister was the woman you helped," Daniel said. Relief washed over James. "She's okay?" "She is," Daniel smiled. "Because of you." Daniel paused. "I'm the CEO of Brooks Transportation." James blinked. "I'm not here to reward you," Daniel continued. "I'm here because my sister told me something important." "What's that?" "She said your daughter asked you to help." James nodded. "She did." Daniel leaned back. "I've spent my life hiring people who look good on paper," he said. "But character, courage, that's rare." He slid a card across the table. "We're opening a new warehouse division. We need a floor supervisor." James stared. "I fix engines," he said quietly. "You protected a stranger and taught your daughter what courage looks like." Daniel replied, "I can teach you the rest." Weeks later, James accepted the job. The pay was better, the hours kinder. Ava visited his office one afternoon, staring at the big windows in the city below. "Is this because you helped that lady?" she asked. James smiled. "Maybe kindness helps more than we think." Years passed. Ava grew taller. James grew steadier. And every rainy morning as they walked together, James remembered one simple truth. Sometimes, one small brave moment, one child's voice asking for help, can change an entire life. Never underestimate the power of kindness. You never know who is watching, and you never know how one brave choice can change everything that comes after.